All right, let's talk about Monopoly. We've all played it, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens to us, to our personalities, when we sit down at that board? Because something definitely changes. Today, we're going to dig into this really fascinating case study I'm calling the low-rent executioner.
And it all kicks off with this. Confession, really. This person knows, they know that the person they become in the game is, let's just say, a little different from who they are day to day. And they've got a system, a very specific, very effective, and kind of dark system for winning.
And this right here, this just lays it all out perfectly. In real life, we're talking about someone who's a total empath. Like they get stressed out watching a nature documentary, worrying about the gazelle's feelings. But you put a Monopoly board in front of them, bam, they become a logistical nightmare, a cold, calculating machine. So, what gives? How does that switch flip? Let's break it down. So, first up, the empath's paradox. This is all about how our player actually uses their nice, empathetic personality as a weapon. It's how they set the whole stage for, well, total domination.
The strategy starts with what they call the Modest Trap. So you can forget about going for the big guns like Boardwalk or Park Place. Nope, this is all about scooping up those little cheap properties right at the beginning of the board. You know the ones, Baltic, Mediterranean, the ones everybody else kind of scoffs at? And here's the kicker. It's all about the performance. It's not just that they buy them. It's how. It's this whole apologetic little smile thing. Like, oh, me? Don't mind me, I'm just tidying up the neighborhood. They're playing the part of the harmless, clueless player, and it completely throws everyone else off their game.
And that's it, right? That's the ultimate empath lie. They're using their genuinely nice personality as a strategic cloak. Everyone sees this gentle, non-threatening player who's just puttering around the board. But what's really happening? They're quietly, methodically laying a financial minefield.
Okay, so the trap is set. Now we get to the really good part, the takedown. It's a methodical, four-step process. And believe me, this is where that nice guy mask really starts to crack.
We just covered step 1, the Modest Trap. Next up is the mathematical ambush, followed by this fascinating thing called the Logic-Dopamine Hit. And of course, it all ends with the post-game shame. It's a whole journey, so let's get into it. All right, step 2, the mathematical ambush. This is the moment everything changes. The apologetic smiles, gone. From here on out, it is all about the cold, hard numbers.
And the whole thing, the entire ambush, it all comes down to one single, incredibly important number. And that number is 3. Just 3. Why 3? Well, it turns out that putting exactly 3 little greenhouses on each of those cheap properties, that's how you find
the sweet spot of financial ruin. See, 3 houses is the magic number. It's the point where the rent just explodes. It gives you the absolute best bang for your buck, the best return on investment. It's pure calculation, and it's designed for one thing and one thing only, to do the most damage possible. And the result is just devastating. You know what your friends and family thought was just a cute little street of harmless starter properties? It's suddenly a financial black hole. It's no longer a neighborhood, it's a toll booth for your soul. Every single time someone lands there, it's a massive crippling hit.
And this is where it gets so perfectly, darkly funny. The final blow is delivered with that same empathetic mask on. Oh, I'm so sorry you're bankrupt, but that'll be $450, please. Can you imagine? The sheer audacity of offering sympathy while taking every last dollar from your friends? It's just the absolute peak of this strategy.
Okay, so we've got the how. We see the mechanics of the ambush. But why? What's the payoff here psychologically? I mean, this is supposed to be fun, right? Well, that brings us to step 3, and maybe the real reason behind it all. The Logic-Dopamine Hit.
So what is that? It's this amazing feeling of satisfaction you get when you see the game not as a game, but as an equation that you've just solved. It's like part of your brain is feeling guilty about ruining family game night, but another, bigger part is just swimming in this pure satisfaction. The joy of seeing cold, hard logic just win out over messy human feelings.
And this quote really just nails it. Think about it. Real life is complicated. It's messy. It's emotional. But the Monopoly board, that's a different universe. It's a sanctuary of pure logic. The rules are clear. The path to victory is mathematical. It's the one place where 2 + 2 actually does equal I own your house.
But you know, every game has to end. The little plastic houses go back in the tray, the paper money gets sorted,
And that's when we hit the final, inevitable step in this whole process, step 4, the villain's remorse.
Yeah, after the glorious victory comes this wave of shame. You have to put on this performance of being sad successful, like, oh wow, I can't believe I won, I feel so bad. But secretly, your brain is still crunching the numbers, thinking about how you could have optimized the utility's ROI, and then it hits you. You'd become the bad guy. You're the villain of the story.
But here's the big takeaway, the final realization. It's not that this person is secretly a monster. It's that the game is a release valve. It's a safe, contained little world where you can satisfy that craving for pure logic and order. By being a ruthless calculator for a couple hours on a Sunday afternoon, you get it out of your system. And that, in turn, lets you go back to being your normal, messy, empathetic self in the real world.
And that's what I want to leave you with. We've just broken down this one person's weird psychological split in a board game. But it really makes you think, doesn't it? Where do you go to get your fix of pure, simple logic? Is it a game, a spreadsheet, a hobby? And when you find it, what does that little sanctuary of order allow you to be everywhere else?